Okay, so that was the end of my day at Krakow. I've got 342.3 on the journey, so that's only still, what's that, out of 4,400 kilometers, much still less than 10%. Was the first leg of the journey yesterday, now starting the second leg, but it's fortunately already 20 past, or 25 past, almost 6. I had a longer day in Krakow. I've been all over Krakow, but I decided to leave the car in the car park all day long and just take a taxi to do what I need to do in the morning. And that was a good thing, because afterwards I was taken to other places again by the client in their car, so I didn't leave my car there at all, and it meant I didn't have the fuss of driving additionally within the city when I was going to have all of this driving anyway in the evening. And what was the point? What was the point in doing all that extra driving? So I thought better to avoid it. As it is, I'm going to now have very little driving time actually in the light, which isn't so good, and the sun will go down within my first hour of driving, unlike yesterday where it went down in the second hour. So now leaving Krakow, going to Brno, that involves or entails mainly motorway by the looks of things, but a lot of that motorway is completely new motorway, so we'll see whether that can be done. That's about 340 kilometers, so that will double the amount that I've done so far anyway, but it will be in a different country. On the way, of course, I have to deal with the question of the good old vignette, because whereas Poland has a few toll roads in the French style, the French were one of the first to introduce the vignette system. That's why vignette is used as the word, because it's a French word. But the French actually moved away from the vignette and turned it to minette. No, they didn't. They turned it to toll roads instead. So basically, am I actually going correct on this? I suppose I must be. There's a tram up there, behind it there's a train. Could I have forgotten so much about? I suppose I could have done. It was really, I used to come here quite regularly at the very beginning of my time in Poland. Well, not the very beginning, but in the first 3 or 4 years of my time in Poland. Whereas now, in the last 3 or 4 years, I think I've barely been here at all. Warszawa, Sandomierz, that can't be right. Can it be? The A4, the paying A4 is what I want, going to Katowice, which means going all the way around the roundabout. Okay, I better get in that lane then. I remember that motel, that's always been there, but it doesn't look as though anything's happening in there at the moment. It looks derelict. It used to be teeming with life and fun, but not anymore. So I've been pointed to go left at this point, and that's how it would have looked in the olden days as well. I came in yesterday through that direction for some strange reason, because I just couldn't recognise any of it coming off the road, but now going this way, because of that motel being there, which is probably going to be pulled down soon anyway. I mean, obviously I don't recognise this huge great flyover, this wasn't here, but the other things, well, no, neither were those windshields there, even though they're looking old. I don't remember them from way back. And but in the main, this sort of thing does look more familiar from then. And the general feel that the road, you know, I like to think I'm sensitive to you know, like things like gradients and curves and what have you in the road, so that if I get a particular curve and a gradient which is unusual. I like to think that it's something that stays in my memory, whereas other things tend to change. I mean, like, you've got those green things, they wouldn't have been there before because the fashion of doing them just came along a lot later. And almost a lot of buildings, even ones that don't look that new, would have happened since. I probably don't really remember the church. Probably was there, but I probably don't remember it. Probably wasn't observant enough back then. Filming makes you more observant, and but I do still remember the sort of gradual gradient going up here out of the city gradually, and then working towards a kind of like hook around onto the motorway. And the way I remember it is that there was a good deal more forest or wood on that side than I'm seeing now. Maybe that just hasn't come up yet. Maybe I'm remembering it too early. Maybe it's the thing over there. Even somebody's little roadside shrine I remember there, because it was one of the first ones I saw of the habit of putting roadside shrines to remember people that have got knocked over by cars and killed by the roadside. Little shrines with flowers and candles on. Yeah, here we're getting into something a bit more foresty. That's the one that I think I remember. And then that would mean that we're coming up to the point at which it's necessary to turn to get into the motorway, but maybe it's not necessary to turn anymore. Oh, it's quite a high point. You can see a long way into the distance from here. I think the crests on the horizon there, they must be like 30 miles away. And it says to stay on the lane that I'm on, which is slightly surprising. Not turn off. It's just easing round to the left there rather than a sharp left like it used to be. And obviously it's going to have to go left.